Welcome to the channel. I'm Lena, and today I'm talking about how to have a stay-at-home date. If you're anything like us, you want to have more meaningful dates with your spouse, but it is so hard to leave the house, especially with small children. So a stay-at-home date can be a bit of a solution to that because you can stay home but still have a meaningful time and connect with your spouse. On this channel, I attempt to simplify money and home. So sometimes I'm talking about whether or not it would be worth it to buy an expensive leather purse, and other times I'm talking simple, doable stay-at-home mom jobs that actually work. If that's content that you need in your life, please hit that subscribe button so that you can be a part of it. The first thing that you need to do to have a successful stay-at-home date is that you need to plan it. So you need to pick a time. For us, Saturdays are a good time. And then you also have to pick what's going to happen with your kids during that. And for us, date during nap time works best, but perhaps after the kids go to bed would be a better time for you. So perhaps you could plan to put the kids to bed a little early and then have your date then. So I don't know about you, but for us, it is so hard to find a sitter, and it is quite expensive to find a sitter. We do not have the luxury of having grandparents live in town, so we have to find a sitter that would watch both of our boys, which is actually quite difficult and can be quite expensive, especially if it's in the evening, because I have a nursing baby, so someone would have to feed him a bottle and put him to bed, and there's the whole routine and everything, and it's just very overwhelming. So this is kind of a solution to that, so you don't have to find a sitter or pay for a sitter. You can do this all at home. So you're finding a workaround that by having a time when your children are asleep or resting. My baby takes a nap, but my 4-year-old, he has a quiet time in his room that every afternoon, a dedicated time for that. So we know that that would be a good time for a stay-home date. Next up for your stay-at-home date is to have a special setup. So things that you don't normally do. So for our stay-at-home date, my husband moved the table more into the middle of the room. It's normally kind of crammed to the corner. And he put out a tablecloth, which we don't often do. And I do have some pretty tablecloths. I love my tablecloths. I love the embroidery stuff. That's so fun. But we don't often have that. You know, everyone's spilling ketchup on the table, and it lasts about a day, and then it's over. So laying out a special tablecloth could be really fun for your date if you have something that you really love and it makes it a little bit special. Also, maybe you have some cloth napkins that would make it a little special. We're not real big napkin people either. So having a tablecloth and napkins makes it feel like an occasion, and you know, you often have those things at a restaurant, so you're kind of mimicking that. Also, dress up for your date. Put on earrings, put on a dress, get your husband to dress up if he's willing. Put on nicer clothes, put on lipstick, all the things to make it feel a little bit special, because you might do that when you're going out. Also, think about mood lighting. Maybe you have a dimmer switch like us, so we can turn the lights down nice and low, especially if it's dark in the evening. That can be really nice. Also, light some candles. These are my favorite beeswax candles, and they look so sophisticated and grown up, and that can really set the atmosphere for you. Turn on some romantic music to set the mood. I bet you could find a playlist on YouTube or Spotify or Pandora or something like that to get your restaurant vibe going to make it a special time. So next up for your date, you need food. So we got takeout for our stay-home date, and that means that no one had to cook, which was really nice, and it was food that we don't always eat, and it was restaurant quality. The other idea that you could do is buy special, unusual, or expensive food that you wouldn't normally eat to cook for your date. So perhaps a steak could be really fun, or shrimp, or whatever you guys really like, but you don't really afford on the normal day-to-day because it's just a little bit too much. And since you're saving so much money on paying for childcare and not eating out, even if you bought an expensive steak or something, you would probably still be spending less than if you had paid for a sitter and left the house. And maybe if the budget is really tight, you could make a time-consuming dish that is not calling for really special ingredients or anything expensive, but you don't normally take that much time to cook. Next up, I have a few game suggestions for what you could do at your date. So at least for us, when we go out, when we leave the house, we normally go to a restaurant, we eat food, it costs $1 million, and then maybe we go to the store and walk around because we don't know what to do. But the cool thing about being at home is that you have all your stuff and there's nobody waiting to like clear your table, so you don't feel like you necessarily have to leave, and you can linger as long as you would like. And you could play a game. Like, you can't bring, Mancala into a restaurant and just sit there for an hour afterwards and play a game, but it could be a great bonding experience. So I've been really trying to get into two-person games and find good two-person games. If you have any game suggestions, leave those down in the comments for sure. So I'm looking for non-competitive, fun games that don't take forever, so it's kind of somewhat low commitment. I am a super competitive person and I love to play Clue and Monopoly and just beat everyone. But that's not necessarily good for my relationship, so I'm looking for more low stress, low commitment, fun two-person games. So I've been collecting these two-person games and I got some for my birthday, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited to play all of these. So the first one is cribbage. My parents got me this beautiful board and it's got all the pieces inside and it's beautiful. Yep. My sisters got me Mancala for my birthday, and this is also a fun, low-stress two-person game. And we've been relearning how to play it on YouTube, and it's been super fun and low-stress and low commitment. Perfect. Also, Yahtzee could be great for your stay-home date. It's mostly about rolling the die, and that game is mostly luck, so not very competitive, which is good for me. Also, a new family favorite is Skyjo. I haven't actually played this yet, and we don't own it yet, but it's definitely on my list. It's a card game, and it involves some counting, and it's really getting popular, but you can play it with two people, and it can still be really fun. The other thing for your stay-home date could be that you're planning to have fun, light conversation. So maybe you could decide to talk about your next vacation. You could plan your next vacation. Or what do you want to do in retirement? Or, well, I always like to talk about future money plans, and maybe that's not your thing. So whatever you guys like to talk about that's fun and light and not serious, maybe not work, maybe not the state of the economy, maybe not, the kids' rashes, stuff like that. So planning to have a lighter, more fun conversation, or even picking a topic. Another thing that you could try doing on your date is dancing together or learning how to dance on YouTube. But I know that not everybody wants to do this, and I want to have a date with my husband that we will both enjoy and be willing to do, and hopefully be willing to do again. So I want to be reasonable about what that might look like and what activities that he'd actually be interested in doing. So the things that I have talked about are kind of geared towards that. Is what are we willing to do, what can we afford, and what will actually happen, and not just the fantasy date. So for me, this is about loving each other the way that we are, not the way that we wish that we were. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what other two-person games are really great to do. Also, let me know if you have any other suggestions about how to make the stay-home date more special. Please like this video so that YouTube knows it's a good one. Also, subscribe so that you don't miss any future uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.